Welcome to the 2016 Cool Kids Training College School-Based Traineeships Program webinar. Today on this webinar, over the next 15 minutes, we're going to talk a little bit about us, about the school-based traineeships, career pathways, the applications process for the traineeships, and what to expect. Hello, my name's Sam Hendry. I'm the Director at Cool Kids Training College, and I firmly believe that today's trainees are tomorrow's children's services leaders. So about us, Cool Kids Training College, we're a registered training organisation based in Queensland that specialises in Certificate 3 and Diploma of Early Childhood Education and Care. We don't do anything else. We have no other courses under scope. We don't do fitness, barista, hospitality, tourism. We just do children's services, and we train at 5 great Queensland locations: Southport, Cairns, Logan, Brisbane and Townsville. So what makes us different? Well, we specialise in the delivery of school-based curriculum. The CHC 30113, Certificate 3 in Early Childhood Education and Care, is a very big part of our overall operations. We provide this traineeship program through a number of schools throughout Queensland, and we specialise in it. We have very high levels of contact with our students. We're in class every week for a 90-minute class with a very qualified trainer from Cool Kids Training College, and that trainer also does on-the-job assessment. When we put you out into the centres and you're doing your work experience on that 1 day a week, you're then visited by our trainer who does that assessment, gives you feedback, coaches, mentors. We know the industry, certainly for many of you listening here today, you'll know of Cool Kids as a very successful early learning centre group, and we've got 12 Cool Kids early learning centres in southeast Queensland. We deliver results. We're focused on completion rates, we're focused on outcomes and supporting our students. We certainly care and we're trusted by our students. We share that learning journey. We know that it is challenging being a year 10, 11 or 12 student and getting yourself through school and doing a traineeship and fronting up to work every week, etc. We're very supportive of that journey. And we focus on our relationships with the students and the school ILOs, and most importantly, we love what we do. Here's a snapshot of some of our trainers. You can see Janine, who we very well known to many of you in southeast Queensland, who's in many schools across the Gold Coast. We've got Karen, who's a very experienced trainer, Ashley and Jess, who's supporting Janine with many of the class-based training in southeast Queensland. And unfortunately, I haven't got a picture of Julie here, who does our Cairns-based schools. But we firmly believe that our trainers are awesome. Lots of experience, lots of dedication to their students, lots of empathy and understanding of school-based trainees, and really focused on outcome and supporting students through that journey. So we really, truly do believe they are awesome. Okay, so SATs in focus. Firstly, a quote from the Queensland Government's Next Step report in 2008. Young people who undertake an SAT were more likely to be working full-time or undertaking further education or training than young people who do not undertake an SAT. So this is really an interesting statistic and quotation. You know, those that are doing traineeships are certainly more likely to be working full-time or undertaking further education and training. So it starts now with a traineeship. There's positive pathways, positive outcomes that can happen, and that's evidenced by this quote. So about SATs. School-based apprenticeships and traineeships, or SATs, allow students, typically in years 11 and 12, to study for their QCE, work for an employer, earn a wage, train towards a recognised vocational qualification whilst completing high school. An SAT can support a student's transition from school to work, and completed traineeships can contribute up to 8 credits for Certificate 3 qualifications. The SAT program that we run, the Cool Kids run, sees a qualified trainer with many years of experience. Many have worked in centres, have been director level, and now qualified trainers. They deliver the Cert 3 tuition in school through one 90-minute class every week. The trainer's in close contact with students over the course of training, phone, email support, along with that on-the-job assessment in the workplace. This relationship is focused on keeping students motivated and keeping the study momentum going. And SATs are required to complete 50 days in the workplace. That generally works out at 1 day per week, and we try and fit that in with the student and the school's schedule. So you might be working on, a Thursday every week for the 50 days, including school holidays. And our trainer marks all the assessment materials throughout the training program. Okay, so what you can expect is happy days. And this is a photo that we just took from one of our centres just the other day. Very colourful, spring has sprung, but that's part of a traineeship. It's very colourful and it's a happy environment that you're going to be doing your work in. Here's a quote that's from a recently graduated student through the traineeship program. "I completed my Certificate 3 in Children's Services as a school-based trainee, and it's safe to say I had the best year doing it. The trainers, the staff, the other students completing the same course as me, and of course the beautiful children were all amazing. They brought a smile to my face every week. I've made lots of wonderful friendships that I'll never forget and who I still keep in contact with. The booklets were quite easy, and if I ever needed any help, I knew I always had someone to help me. I wish I could redo the experience over and over again." And that's from Danielle, 2014 SAT student. All right, here's the order of delivery. So the Certificate 3 is an 18-unit course. And you can see here it's got 7 clusters: health and safety, workplace, culture, legal, sustainability, care, play and learn. And within those clusters, there's 2 to 3 units per cluster. So 18 in total. Every unit has a theory and a workplace assessment component. So you might complete the theory through an assignment-based work, and then you might have been satisfactory in the theory, but then your trainer will say, okay, when I come out into centre next week, I want to see you illustrate that skill set in practice. So show me that learning in the centre. And once you've been given a satisfactory rating on the work placement component, then you get a competency for that unit, and you progress through the units in that fashion. And as you can see, there's 18 units in total over the duration of the course. So career pathways, where can this traineeship eventually lead to? Well, here's some of the roles that a Certificate 3 can help with. And I should say the Certificate 3 is the standard. It's a mandatory qualification now. It's legislated by the government that you have to be undertaking or have completed to work in an early learning centre. So the sort of roles that a Cert 3 arrives at will be early childhood educators, so being in a room in a childcare centre, outside school hours care assistant or OSH care assistants, playgroup supervisors, recreation assistants, family daycare workers and nannies. And I should also say the career pathways or the education pathways that can come from a Cert 3, many of our students will do the Cert 3 in school. They'll then finish school, they'll come back and complete their diploma. And then from the diploma, some have just started, as a result of an agreement we now have with Griffith University, have started their bachelor's, and that's a Bachelor of Family Studies. And if you've completed the diploma, you'll get credits into the Bachelor of Family Studies. There's a pathway of credits from the certificate to the diploma, and then the diploma to the Bachelor of Family Studies. So there is that pathway of education that you can follow. All right, so there's a little bit about the program. Now, how to apply. All right, so the 2016 applications will be taken via an application form. That form will be sent to you. If you're watching this webinar, you've registered. It'll be sent to you in the next 24 hours. Applications will close at the end of this month, 30th of September 2015, and students will be advised by the end of October 2015, or possibly earlier, on the status of their application. There are limited places in the program, and the quality of your application is very, very important. On the application form, you'll see there are 5 questions. Outline 3 reasons why you want to secure a 2016 Children's Services SAT program. Now, this is really important. You know, why do you want to secure a traineeship? If you're just thinking, oh, I'll do childcare versus I might do something else, then it's probably not for you. But if you're very committed and you've got a clear view that you want to work with children and you love children, and this is for you, then that's a big tick. So I'd encourage you to be very clear on why you want to do the traineeship. Tell us what your career ambitions are. If you're saying I want to do a traineeship, but I want to be, I don't know, an engineer, then we sort of wonder why you want to do a traineeship in childcare at this point in time. So be very clear about what your career ambitions are, and hopefully they're aligned with a starting point here in early learning. Tell us what your expectations are. What do you want to get out of the program? What do you want to learn? And what do you think working in an early learning centre will involve? And also, what are you passionate about? We want to understand a little bit more about you, and that'll help us in determining the successful applicants. So what will a day in a centre be like? Well, you need to get ready to be creative. And there's a lot of things that you've learned in school so far that are really, really handy when working in an early learning centre. Certainly arts and crafts and those areas of creativity will be very, very helpful. And children love, obviously, working with art and craft. So expectations, lots of fun, lots of hard work, lots of play, lots of smiles. So certainly you can read that quote over the next 30 seconds or so, but certainly the demands in the traineeship are, can be significant. You know, the traineeship isn't for everyone. It is certainly rewarding. It's certainly lots of fun. But 18 units, doing a day a week work experience, some of the assignment work, it can be challenging. So I'd encourage you all, as you're listening to this and as you're thinking about your application, to be prepared for that. Be prepared to work hard and to commit yourself for the period of the traineeship. Because if you commit yourself, you work hard at it, then you'll get a lot out of it. All right, some questions. How much does the SAT cost? Well, it doesn't cost anything. It's fully funded, so there's no contribution required for the traineeship. So mum and dad will be happy about that. When does it start? We're aiming to start students in their centres. Some will start in November this year. Some will start in January next year. Just depends on which gear level you're in and the availability of spaces in centres. We'll start you off with a 2-day trial. This is really important, and it gives us an opportunity, gives you an opportunity, most importantly, to see whether working in a centre is going to be for you. Gives the directors and the room supervisors an opportunity to meet you and to see you firsthand, how committed you are, how passionate you are, how engaged you are with the children, whether you turn up on time, whether you're well presented, all those things. So the 2-day trial gives that two-way opportunity and for feedback to come back to say, yep, this student would be great, or maybe the student needs to have a think about why they're here. Maybe there's other things that they prefer to be doing, may not be for them. Sometimes students will come back from a 2-day trial and they'll go, you know what, this is absolutely the best thing I've ever done. And the majority of students are of that mindset. I love it, it's great. But there are some that come back and go, oh, I didn't realise it was going to be that hard. That work's not for me. And that's okay. And that's why the 2-day trial is great to work that out. Work will be close to home. We'll try and place you as close as we can. Depends on centre availability. But when you go through the application process or post-application, we'll ask you where you would prefer to do your placement. Classes once a week, as I said. Applying is through the application form. Your responsibilities will be outlined to you when you enter the workforce at that centre. They're the standard responsibilities an employee needs to undertake when working in a job. You are classified as an employee. Your employer's responsibilities are the same as they are for any workplace. They're governed by legislation and Fair Work, but they'll be outlined to you also by the centre director. The support you'll get from us at the training college will be obviously class, email support, phone support from your trainer. The hours, standard working hours, a 7.6-hour day. The pay rates are as per the standard awards. They'll be outlined to you when you start your traineeship. And what will happen if you don't like it? Well, in the 2-day trial, hopefully you've worked that out. Sometimes students, they might get a month or two into the program and they'll say, gee, this is pretty tough. But we'll try as much as possible to make sure that that's clear and that you don't look to cancel once you're in the program. But there are avenues to do that, of course. All right, this is Penny, one of our first graduate, who said the training was an amazing learning journey. And really what we're on about is setting up and forging career success. So starting on this pathway, starting with a traineeship, but getting into an industry where there's a lot of growth. So there's over 1.1 million children now in long daycare and early learning centres and care are requiring staff that ultimately need to be doing the sort of training that that you're doing, and most importantly having that Certificate 3 qualification. So lots of growth in the industry, lots of job opportunities, and that's very important because there's employment outcomes in this industry more so than in some other industries. All right, so that brings to an end the video. I hope there's been some information there that you've learned about the program. Stand by for the application form. If you've got any questions, certainly feel free to give us a call on any of those numbers. And yeah, we look forward to getting your application and then talking some more about the traineeships in children's services. Thank you.